What's going on, guys? I'm Weston Mac, and welcome back to another 10-minute video. And in today's video, we'll be going over the top 500 system, my thoughts and prayers on how it might change, and the future of the top 500 system. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff as we jump right into today's discussion. So, for this video, I went and found some old Brig Overwatch gameplay. I'll link the original video down below. It actually has the original trailer for Brig attached to it, and I thought it was very, I don't know, nostalgic to look back on, and I thought you guys might enjoy this gameplay as well. So, anyways, today's topic is top 500. It's a very, I think, relatively controversial topic. There's a lot of thoughts and ideas on what should be going on with top 500, and it seems like Overwatch might have just chose the wrong option, which is not that surprising. I was going to say very surprising. It's not really not that surprising. So what's going on here? So I'll explain the old top 500 system, and we'll jump into the new one, and also the potential changes it looks like Overwatch will be making in next season for top 500. So the old system. Basically, how a top 500 system should work is it should show off the top 500 best players in the world. But this one shows off the top 500 best players in each region, because each region is pretty different in my opinion. So North America, Europe, and Asia. It also shows off the top 500 highest ranked players. But you're probably thinking, well, if you just get to the highest rank and then stay there every season, what's the point? Well, then there needs to be a win requirement so that every single season you have to get a certain amount of wins. I think it's right now 25. Don't quote me. They keep changing it for some reason. And also, what if somebody kept just making more and more accounts and covering top 500 with a bunch of accounts? Well, that was also the win requirement for the total account, which I think is still at 750. I would say, hey, let me go through and research and double check this sort of stuff. Legitimately, it is like annoying to go through and like double check this stuff because sometimes the information is completely right, sometimes it's completely wrong, and I'm gonna be honest with you, they keep changing it, and I don't know what it is anymore, even after researching it. So from my perspective, I believe it's 750 wins total on your account for comp, and then 25 wins total for the season for you to be applicable to be able to play and be in top 100. So there's that. There's the original system. But there is some issues with it. For instance, ladder camping is probably the biggest issue. In Overwatch 2, basically what you could theoretically do is get your wins and then just stay there. Especially if you're not in the range of being knocked out of top 100, which is basically, if you're in Grandmaster above, like GM5 basically, you are pretty much guaranteed to be in top 100 every season as long as you get your wins in for that season and be done. And that's kind of it. It would then clog up the top 100 system and also prevent newer players from getting into it in the first place. There's also the issue of, like, let's say there's a Champ 1 player, the literal highest ranked you can be in Overwatch, and that player decides to stop playing. Theoretically, you could camp the top #1 spot. It would make it far harder for anybody below you to be able to get that top 100 spot. It'd be the equivalent of, I don't know, the heavyweight world champion going and getting the heavyweight world belt and retiring and saying, I'm not getting this back. What are we supposed to do then? You're the best player. We need to play against you to then outrank you. No. Well, that's what ladder camping basically was. And in my opinion, there's a pretty obvious change you could make. There could be rank decay. This actually was a feature in Overwatch 1. I believe it was also a feature at the very beginning of Overwatch 2, where basically, if you didn't play for a season, you would then lose your rank. It would decay your rank. And that would happen over the course of a season, or over the course of many seasons, where your rank would decrease based off of your playtime, which makes sense. If you're not playing the game, if you're ladder camping, you'll get penalized for it. Now, there could be some better ways to do it, and personally, in my opinion, you could maybe do a weekly checkup, or like if you need to get a certain amount of games in or wins in to basically be still applicable to top 500. On top of that, it should only count toward top 500 players. I don't think plat and diamond players who are not going to be in top 500 should have rank decay just because the top 500 players are not playing the game. So it should be only applied to the top 500 players. In my opinion, that would fix it relatively. It's not a perfect solution, but at least it would require better players to play more and leave their rank up to actually be, I don't know, defended and attacked against other players who want to rank up in top 500. It's not that bad of a system, in my opinion. But Overwatch somehow came up with a, I don't know, the worst option, potentially, and it's the challenger score system. Now, I'm not gonna, like, throw Overwatch under the bus too hard, but I'm going to make some certain claims that makes them seem a little more evil than they probably actually are. So here we go. The challenger system is purposely bad so that it promotes more playtime and it promotes more streaming and YouTube videos. That's my take on why the top 500 system is how it is. I do admit it is trying to fix the whole ladder camping system, but then it created an entirely other issue that wasn't there in the first place. So what is the challenger system? Basically, whenever you hit Diamond 5 and above, which is a little bit above, I think it's like the top 25% of the entire player base, I believe, is in Diamond and above. The middle ground is Gold. So once you make it into Diamond, all of your games from then on out will then have a challenger score ratio. This ratio will increase based off of how high your rank is. So theoretically, you could be a Diamond 5 and have like 10 to 15 challenger points. But if you're in Challenger, your score will be 256 points if you end up winning the game. It's a very staggering big difference. And also there's a minimum challenger score, which is 4,000. So theoretically, if you won multiple hundreds of games as a Diamond player, it would take way longer to make it up into top 500 compared to a top player who could get hundreds of score per game that they win. So it's a little bit different. You also do lose a third of your score roughly whenever, not a third total, but a third of the score you were going to get if you won. So there is some penalty, but it's not one for one. It's not similar to the rank up system, because then you could basically stack points on points on points on points. So, immediately, I had some issues with this, because I was thinking, that means Diamond and low master players could theoretically grind hard enough to then get into the system. And I heard some people go back and forth, some streamers were actually for this change, which I'm like pointing at and being like, look, you're the reason why we're in this mess in the first place. And people were like, it's mostly going to be GM and I keep saying Challenger. It's GM and Champion players. They're going to be in the top 500. It's going to be fine. So, there was immediate nerf towards lower ranked players, and also they nerfed it again. And the most recent blog posts were like, hey, we might have made some mistakes, as they admitted that the Challenger system was not working as intended, because there was a Diamond 4 or Diamond 3 player who played support that managed to make it all the way into the top 80 position. This player was higher than Masters, Grandmasters, and Champion players. Some of the best and most, some of just the best players in the world are getting beat by a Diamond player that does not have a job. Their entire goal in life is just to grind out Challenger points. This is where I have the issue. This is where my argument that Overwatch is just trying to incentivize people to play more has gotten way too far here. The system advocates for hours upon hours, hundreds if not thousands of hours, hundreds if not thousands of games to be played just so you can get in the top 500. There was a period of time when the season first released because Infected, the best NA take player other than maybe Super TF, the best NA take player was not in top 500 and was getting beaten out by Diamond and Master players. That is an incorrect system. And it does not go by me that they just so happen to add live streams and videos directly linked to the top 500 system. Therefore, it benefits streamers. Therefore, it benefits the game so that more people have eyes on the game because more people are grinding the game for longer periods of time. This is not a top 500 system. This is a top 500 most played system, not top 500 best player system. Those are two very distinct systems. And in my opinion, Overwatch completely messed up. Now, on the most recent blog post, like I mentioned, they said it's not working as intended. It looks like, to a degree, they were going to pull back a little bit from Challenger system. There was a lot of things they did wrong this last year, and that was definitely one of them. And I at least can appreciate that they admitted something kind of went wrong with this entire system. So, yes, I'm really hoping in next season that they do pull back dramatically on the system. And it's more used, basically, to work as a decay system, or at least a system to show off, hey, these people are playing a lot more, therefore they should be up there. They aren't sitting there ladder camping, and it should be actually used for ladder camping and not creating an entirely new system where you have to grind 24/7 to even be in top 100. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff as we as I say, as we jump into the next session, we're not. Next video. We'll talk about something else in the next video. Don't worry about it.